Caw, Legion! Welcome to Tales from the Grim and Wild Blue Yonder, our Lady Blackbird campaign. I'm Lauren, your very, very benevolent, very merciful, just so kind navigator for this evening's adventure. Some channel business first. Hey, we got a Discord. It's popping over in there lately, so y'all should head on over for a special Discord only thing that we're doing right now, which I'll talk about after the show. But first, let's go around and meet our cast, because I don't know who any of these people are. I've never seen them before in my life, but they look like scallywags. Greg.
Well, I guess, sure. I will take scallywags if it means I get to hang out with these people. Not you, Lauren. You're the navigator and therefore my enemy. But everyone else,
Yep.
We are here. We are the crew of the owl, except for Lauren. She's the enemy. And tonight I get to play captain of said owl, Cyrus Vance. You say it a lot about some games if you're fortunate enough to play. But this is my therapy for the week. I will act the fool and have fun doing it. Bear with me. Sit back, have some fun in a safe environment that Lauren can't possibly do anything or do any wrong to these beloved, precious characters of ours. Lauren?
You know, Greg and I are actually friends in some alternate universe. I don't know where it is, but I'd be curious to visit it very, very briefly.
Earth 33, right.
Yeah. Serena, who is my actual friend. How are you?
So good. Mondays have become one of my favorite nights of the week. Usually Mondays at work are awful, but then I come here and it's wonderful. I'll be playing Kaylin, your first mate and mechanic on the Owl. And I'm prone to fits of baking and flailing about.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I love it. You are my favorite high-ranking member of the Owl. Alice, my good friend who I haven't seen in so long.
It's been years, Lauren. It's been absolute years. And if by scallywags you mean like space pirates, space adventurers, I will take that. So I'm happy with that. But yeah, I'm so excited for this every single Monday that I get to be here with all these fabulous people. So yeah, please don't hurt my little goblin boy.
I'm sorry, you cut, communication's not so good around Nightport. You completely cut out. Kiana, my friend. What's up, girl?
My
Ready?
BFF.
My BFF, Kiana, who I would never hurt ever. How are you?
I'd call bullshit on that. Hello.
I would too.
I'm super excited to be here again in the blue with this lovely crew as we go off into whatever shenanigans we get up to today. It's probably going to be a lot of feels because I gave Lauren so many knives and she's slowly stabbing them into me as we speak. So yeah,
friendship works.
That's how friendship works. But yes, I'm playing Artemis Walker, who is Lord Blackbird's loyal valet, who has some weird things going on with her and a lot of backstory, and we're gonna get into some of that today.
Yeah, super cash. And someone I don't recognize for the life of me. I don't know how he got into this Zoom chat. I'm very confused. Sir in the vest with the hair. Who are you?
Yo.
Well, that's all the time we have, everybody.
I'm Lord Blackbird, hardened criminal. I've taken many names and many lives in my time.
My mute button just malfunctioned. I'm so sorry.
Yep. I'm bad boy, Nat, Cyree, Lord Blackbird today. Growly voice, real deep. Yep.
there's nothing
Don't
I can
cross me.
say. Okay.
Yeah, good night, everybody. We're just gonna call it there. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, I don't think we can go on. I know I certainly can't because I am dead. Anyway, we're playing the Lady Blackbird system by John Harper. It's a Powered by the Apocalypse game. There are lots of things going on, but basically, I set difficulty levels, and these fools try to convince me that they have the relevant skills to meet that, and they have a dice pool. More dice equals a better chance of success. I'm sorry, I'm still stuck on everything that just happened. So if you look below, we have some donation panels, which can give everyone watching at home the chance to impact the narrative. They're about to get into a ship fight, maybe, or maybe not. I don't know. But maybe they could use some help or complications. Those are fun. I like those. But you can do that at any time. So, a brief recap. We had our first refreshment scenes as the owl made its way to Nightport. The crew and passengers talked, apologies were made, promises were given, nicknames were discovered, relationships developed, makeovers were given, and Lord Blackbird heard an apparently disembodied voice asking him for help. As the ship neared Nightport, 3 other ships, adorned in deadly-looking spikes, appeared out of thin air in a purple shimmer. These are the ships of the mercenary group, the Crimson Voidwalkers, who some of our characters, more than one, have had interactions with in the past. Particularly, a very familiar voice came over the radio, that of Captain Micah Hunter, who is here for Lord Blackbird. So, the searchlights of one of these ships ahead of you flicks on. Artemis, this bright light passes over the gunner's seat where you are, and you're reminded of the last time you were in a small space and a bright flash went before your eyes, because the next time you opened your eyes, you didn't have an arm anymore. And that same voice that was next to you then is coming over the radio now. The searchlight passes over the entire ship, but as it hits the seat where you are, it stops and then flicks off. What do?
As soon as, there's that that flash of light, that voice, the just feeling the confines of this space, Artemis freezes and starts to hyperventilate. She needs to be out, and there's parts of her mind is going back to time years ago. And that's not a good time for her at all. And her hand, both flesh and metal, grip onto the wall of this gun, of this turret, and there's kind of a little of sound as it crunches into the metal a bit, as she has phantom pains, real pain, she's not sure. And her whole fight and flight symptoms are in full swing right now.
Which way is she leaning?
She's almost balling herself up a bit, almost in a defensive position. But yeah, I think she's more leaning against her metal arm.
Mm-hmm. So let's float down to the cockpit of the owl, where our other outsiders are. Last you heard was the man who called himself Captain Micah Hunter. Oh wait, my hat. I have a hat for him. Excuse me. This is a goodly hat, and I will wear it. Yes. You haven't seen him yet, but he's wearing a hat. Anyway.
Also, just to interrupt, Levi just gave us all auto successes. Thank you, Levi.
Levi. So interesting that you would do that. Huh. Okay. So the last thing you heard was Micah Hunter saying that he was here for Lord Blackbird. And the radio is still open.
Cyrus will look over at Snargle and just to mute the radio.
Yeah, he's literally just like...
He's gonna turn to the others and look right at Kale. Get the gas masks. You two, and he points at Lord Blackbird, you two head down to the engine room. Every door you pass along your way, you close. Do you understand? Close and seal it. Get down to the engine room, lock yourselves in, open up the shipwide comm. And
All
kid,
right, I'm on it.
he looks at Lord Blackbird. That wind thing that you did with the... might want to get that ready. And...
Yeah. I should go check on Art real quick though. Just, make sure she's got everything she needs.
Yeah,
She's where
we
she
can go
needs
on
to
our
be.
way. There's no time for dilly-dally. We can go. I'll go with you.
Lead lead the way.
So
I went up into the gunner area yet. Art hasn't really let me.
So Kale is taking Nat up to the gunnery, and Snargle is in the pilot seat. Vance is by him, and the radio is muted but still open, so you hear that kind of drawl come over it again. Is anyone there?
Vance leans forward. I don't give a good goddamn who that person is. Get ready to dive.
And Snargle's just like, okay, and sort of does a little bit of a stretch and gets in position.
We're going into the purple.
Wait, what?
We're going into the purple. Put your gas mask on. They're sealing up everything. We just need to get around them. We're gonna dive and pop. And
yeah, I can do that. And he looks really happy about this and starts putting on gas mask and everything.
Vance will grab his and he says, I'm gonna go get the Sparrow. We only got one gun up top, so I'm gonna cause a bit of a deterrent. Just fly casual when you dive. I'm gonna be on the roof. And he walks off.
Okay.
Alrighty. So, Snargle, you're getting your gas mask. Vance, are you getting the others or opposite?
Vance is grabbing one to take with him. He gave orders to Kale to make sure that Kale and Blackbird had one. The gunner seat itself should be sealed. And then Snargle grabbing one as well. And Vance is grabbing the Sparrow, which is his rifle, and heading to the roof of the Owl to strap himself into... He's going to surf a bit.
Great. Cool. Love it. Don't mind my notes. All right. So, I guess we'll follow Nat and Kale up to the gunnery. Although, before they arrive, should probably mention something. Artemis. Something in your pocket starts buzzing.
Fuck. Yeah, she's going to, with one hand that's shaking a little bit, reach in and kind of feel for it.
It is your personal communication device.
Yeah.
But the call sign is not one that you'd be expecting. You don't recognize it at first. And then you do. And you think it is probably from Micah.
Yeah, she's gonna bring it up and answer it.
It's staticky at first. And then when it clears, it's quiet for a while. And then you just hear, Art?
Micah, what are you?
What are you doing with these folks?
I'm out. Business. What are you doing?
Well, for starters, I'm talking to you.
Not much is obvious. What are you doing?
There's that humor. I miss that.
After 10 years, this is where you show up.
It's a small galaxy. At this point, an image starts to come through. The man on the other end of this looks much like you remember him. Broad shoulders, tall, very tan skin with wavy brown shoulder-length hair. Just a great beard. Just a great, very trimmed beard. Dark leather clothing and still the twinkling green eyes you remember.
Artemis, who currently doesn't look like Artemis.
Yeah.
It's kind of, she kind of has this face of this blonde woman with freckles and dark brown eyes, but from Micah's point of view and anybody who would see, you would see that face almost flicker for a second, and she drops it till it's just her own face.
Never got used to that.
Why do you want Lord Blackbird? Why are you with the Void Walkers? What are you doing?
We were hired to bring the boy to someone.
Who?
I don't have a name. But it was a tie to some.
After all of those years of service, you go and you work with these people?
And you're a butler?
I'm well employed, thank you.
Oh, a civvy.
No, I couldn't continue with the unit.
Art, no one's gonna hurt him. This doesn't have to escalate.
And her face kind of twists up into a complicated expression. I can't. No. I'm sorry. I can't.
There's a long silence as he just looks at you. Art, I still care. And Nat and Kale, you have arrived at the gunnery. Isn't that fun?
Huh.
Hey Art, who you talking to? Just going.
Kale, as you all enter, unless Art tells me differently, you see a very expensive looking personal communication device and a very attractive man on the other end of it, wearing a great hat. And this is a man you have seen before back in your village before it was turned to basically dust.
Artemis, what are you doing?
It's just. I was picking up a call. Never mind. It's.
That person has your number? They didn't call through the comms, or they did and we turned it off and they called you instead. Do you think that's weird?
I didn't think he still had it.
The screen's gone black.
Yeah,
Got your
so
phone.
Artemis will like shove it back into her pocket.
How do you know that man?
We used to work together.
And Kale, who's usually so like fun and easygoing, she stiffens up and she sort of has like the demeanor I would describe as a surgeon. She gets very like icy and very clinical. You worked with him. That's interesting to me. Before you met Blackbird here?
Oh, is this the Micah you used to tell me about back when you went
Yes.
off? Well, this is
And
awkward.
yeah, and Artemis is clearly shaken.
Yeah.
Like she's sweating a bit. Her hands are still kind of shaking when they're not clenched into a fist.
Dung, dung, dung,
Art,
dung, dung.
Nat,
On the outside of the gunner station, there is a pound as Vance is standing out on the roof. He looks at Kale and he looks at Blackbird and shoos him away and then yells into the gunner's glass, "Get ready to shoot, Art!"
You're going to be experiencing some turbulence as we depart, and I close the gunner and I run off with...
Before you do, Nat is like, as you're... the captain said something about getting gas masks. I'm not sure what his plan is, but are you okay?
Should be fine. Just do whatever the captain said and keep yourself safe.
Why are you people still talking?
Feels like
Nat looks kind of indignantly at at Cyrus. I am talking to my good friend here. Please do not disturb me.
You
Nat-
can't hear what he's saying, Cyrus. He just looks indignant.
It's gonna be okay. We're gonna be fine. I have faith in the captain.
Kale's putting on her gas mask, and as Blackbeard is or as Nat is talking, slowly is putting on his gas mask.
Don't. We're gonna be fine, I promise.
Artemis, Nat looks different. He has no shirt on. He's wearing a vest.
Yeah,
His hair
yeah.
is-
Artemis.
Oh, and I've got a shiner.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. Artemis notes it, but kind of doesn't care right now.
Yep. Fair. Meanwhile,
Rich people, stop talking!
Then at this point, we'll like look at Art one more time and then follow Kale out.
Yeah, and Kale is booking it, so I'm running just to seal everything up real quick in the bottom.
yep.
That will help you as best he can.
Yeah. It's like when someone is like lifting something really heavy and someone is guiding it. But it's like
That's how I help people carry things too.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
you missed the door down there.
Snargle, back in the cockpit, you see the 3 ships begin to move into a formation. 2 of them are circling, one to your left, one to your right, one still between you and Nightport.
And he literally just physically looks at them. And he keeps flying steady. That's
Yeah.
exactly what he was told to do, just waiting for his opportune moment.
How is Snargle feeling? Like, how does he approach?
He
This
is so happy right now. He is in his element. He doesn't normally get to do things like this, and he's just like, okay, come on. It's like he's waiting to dive. He's more excited about diving than he doesn't seem to be bothered by them anymore. If anything, he's kind of grateful they're here because this means he can do this.
Yeah. In the cockpit, as Snargle's pumping himself up, getting ready, waiting for the perfect moment, a sound from close behind you, kind of like a whining almost, begins to emanate.
And he sort of pauses from the hype light and just has a quick look behind him.
2 purple shimmers begin to form. At first, they are maybe square shaped, like a window or a door. And then they begin to take on more human form. But one of them, as it's coming in, seems to fade out, and you hear a very distant scream. The other one continues to materialize until a masked man in red, tattered clothing is behind you with a gun. Let's cut to Vance, though, and we'll come right back, Snargle, my bud. Vance, you're walking on the ship.
Yeah, Vance is strapped in. He's got his headphones with his mic on it. All right, dive! Snargle, dive! And he pulls the high velocity, high caliber gun that he calls the Sparrow, because he's not trying to take down a ship. He's trying to do what a sparrow does and smash into a windshield or glass. and he aims at the one that has decided to get decidedly close, and he's going to shoot to make just a little hole in their cockpit glass.
Alrighty. Yay. Rolls. Goody goody gumdrop. All right. What would you like to do to try and do this while I think of the difficulty level?
I'm just going to use Levi's auto success, if that's okay.
That will give you 1 success.
Okay, I'm going to use that for sure.
Okay. Sure.
I can't hear. I realized I was yelling. I apologize. I'm going to use warrior, battle hardened, shooting. How's that sound? Oh, and 4 more from my pool.
All right, so we're looking at 8. Also,
you didn't tell me the DC yet, so I don't know.
No, I haven't. I'm gonna just make it. I really want to make it 5. Yeah. Yeah, that seems fair. It's a ship. You're shooting a rifle at it from a considerable distance, trying to hit the cockpit glass. Yeah.
Okay, so you're giving me 5?
So
Cool,
you've
cool.
got 8 right now. You have 2 auto successes in the bank.
Yeah, I'll take both of those.
If you should you need them.
Yeah, we'll
You
go ahead and
also roll with
clear-
advantage because you have that. It's on your next roll, so you have that too.
Yeah, let's go ahead and clear the decks.
Yeah.
All my auto advantages or auto crits with the advantage coming up. So that takes me down to 2. Is that how many successes I need? Beyond the
No,
3?
you still need 5.
Okay, but I've got 3 guaranteed, is what you're saying.
You've got 2 guaranteed.
2, so I need 3. Okay. So I'm going to roll, what did I say, 8?
8.
Okay, and this is at advantage.
So you can roll it twice. Nope.
Okay. You said I needed 3.
Oh, well, yes. Roll an advantage anyway. That's right. You only need 3 because you have your 2 auto successes. Did I get to move now?
Or 5.
Yeah. Yes. You can keep those if you want.
I can keep what, the successes?
Yeah,
that work?
or you could add them to just make this exactly what you want it to be.
I'm going to add it to make it exactly what I want it to be, and can I affect a scene that's playing out beneath me?
Maybe. Tell me what you
Okay.
want to do.
I want to say all of my successes at the same time that the shimmering person appeared, and the order was to close every door from the bridge to the back, which would include the bridge door. Can Snargle close or have the bridge door closed so this guy could shimmer and be like, well, and just close the door on him, and then we're gonna dive.
I'll see what. It will affect what Snargle does.
Then I will bequeath my successes to Snargle. How's that? Is that better if I just say, here, take these 2?
I think I understand what you're trying to do.
Okay. What I did do, though, was break the glass in one of the windows.
Yes, you did. You can see a red light go up in that cockpit over there, and distantly see figures moving about. Kale and Nat.
Vance will be laughing.
Yes, good. Just like that. Kale and Nat, you are in the engine room?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What you doing down there?
What are we doing down there, Kale?
You're muted,
You're
Serena.
I made a really funny joke, you guys.
Oh, damn, what was it?
No, I was saying that Nat and I were having like a slumber party, and it was so chill down there. No, I know that what we're doing is like a big jump sort of thing. So I'm actually trying to strap Nat down, and strap myself down so we don't like jiggle around in there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm super excited for that. You can definitely do that.
Perfect.
Nat's
As-
looking around at the engine room, just like,
It's my favorite part in the whole ship. So I'm like
It
buckling him
is-
in.
pretty amazing. What are we doing, by the way?
Oh,
What's the plan here?
Oh, we're gonna do a big old jump. So that's why you need this gas mask. If you didn't have it, you'd pass right out. You would just get like air sick and just black out. So
Not passing out is good. Do you do this often?
only when we have to get away real quick.
How often is that?
I mean, we haven't done one in a while.
Huh.
These people are real bad, Nat. They're real bad people.
I mean, they must be. But, I mean, honestly, what kind of a name is the Voidwalkers?
I don't know. It's probably one of those things where they give themselves a nickname, you know, like where it's like, let's just sound like real badass, you know? So I'm pretty sure that's what that is.
I mean, it's just kind of cheesy, to be honest.
And Kale gives you kind of like I don't know, she just gives you like a laugh, like she like took in the joke deeper than the joke was, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
So as you strap Nat in and strap yourself in, you hear a whining sound, high-pitched, sounds far away. Maybe it's from the engine, but it doesn't sound familiar. And then 4 purple shimmers
Oh,
begin to pop into the engine room, much like the shimmers on the day that your town was invaded by them. Although 2 vanish again, fade and vanish, and you can hear a distant screaming. The other 2 continue to materialize as the 2 of you are all strapped in. So let's cut to Art. What's up, girl? How you doing? What you doing? What's going on up there?
She's trying to get herself calm enough to focus on what's happening. Her heart's still racing, whether it's from that PTSD induced flashback or from talking with Micah. She's not sure. And she's trying to kind of focus on what's ahead, just kind of like looking at all the ships and kind of calculating in her head, okay, where are they? Her hands are now kind of gripping onto the controls for the guns and just like familiarizing herself with it.
You see Vance above shoot his rifle toward the ship in front and the glass crack. That's a pretty damn good shot with a rifle from this distance. It is impressive. And you can see, just like that. And you can see the red
her
light.
brow raises at that.
Mm-hmm. I have a question though, just like
Yeah.
because I'm like curious, like
Uh-huh.
I want to know things because
Yeah.
I'm nosy. Is Artemis going to shoot Micah's ship?
She doesn't know which ship she's on, right? Or
hmm,
would I be able to guess just from like the ability to communicate, like the distances?
the one closest to you is the one in front that's been shot.
Right. Okay. So if I were to make a guess, considering distances for communications, I would guess that was the one.
Yes, you would.
Okay. No, she's not.
Cool. Good. Yes. I mean neutral.
She thinks about it, but she can't bring herself to.
Okay.
Oh, shoot!
So she's gonna look for the other ships
Mm-hmm.
and kind of start to train towards one of them.
Nice, nice, sweet, sweet. So back to Snargle, who will benefit from Vance's just excellent shot that seems to have delayed whatever assault was going to come from that direction. You're still faced with a Voidwalker behind you, and I would like to know what you want to do. You've been ordered to dive, but there's someone with a gun behind you. What you gonna do?
Is the gun like pointed at me?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, then Snargle is gonna dive and try and spin this ship. She's gonna try and throw this person off. Like very quickly, he just secures himself in and then pushes everything down and into a swirl to throw this guy off.
Great. So
hoping he hits every wall on the way down.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna do a roll for this as the other two ships, not third, so you've only got two, begin to fire. But we're going to reduce the difficulty of this, not only because Snargle rules, but also because Vance got one of them off your back for now. So I'm going to say this is only...
I also have a key I can use.
Oh, that's right. I'm going to say this is only difficulty 2 because of what Vance did and his success before. So,
okay.
So you're trying to dive into the depths.
I am daring, steady. I'm good at maneuvering, evasion, tricky flying, and navigation.
Ooh, all right, and you get one just cause. And one for pilot.
Yep.
So you're rolling with 8, and you have advantage on it because of a previous donation. So you can roll twice and take the higher. Oh, wow.
Don't use them all up.
Please go ahead and describe this insane dive.
Yeah, Snargle, if anything, he straps himself in and pulls on some of the levers either side of the chair so that it tips forward, so that even if this person does shoot, it should at least hit the back of the chair, and he grabs the controls and just pushes the ship as far as it goes, probably feeling it vibrate a little, and as the person falls forward and hits the back of the chair, he's just gonna, you hear him laugh a bit manically as he just sort of flicks it round to then swing this guy over and just round, and if he lands one side, he's immediately going to swing it back the other side to make sure he hits the other wall.
Yes, this guy is bouncing around like a pinball at this point. He's mostly wearing cloth, so it really hurts.
If he gets too close, if he falls on like the controls or anything, Snargle's gonna reach under where in his workspace where he and the captain shared a drink before to grab the empty bottle and just crash it over his head as he falls forward.
That's amazing. Yes. This poor guy. This poor
laughing
guy.
The entire time. Like on a high adrenaline rush right now.
Sweet. So the captain is on top of the ship as this happens. How?
Strapped in. I said I put the guidelines
you're
in.
muted.
Not just for you guys. I'm only everybody else can hear me. You guys just go ahead now.
Yeah, I don't need to hear you for this.
Right. No, I was strapped in with guidelines. That's what, like, if somebody was walking on top of a biplane in the olden days, they would have a harness that they would clip into on either side for guidelines.
How taut are they?
I'll get whipped around a bit.
Okay.
I can take it. I'm all right.
Great.
Famous last words.
Yep, as you do. Is there anything else you would like to do as this spin begins?
Laugh. I can hear Snargle laughing. I'll join in. This is what we do. This is how the owl does it. We're going into the shit and we're taking these people with us. Let's do it.
Kale and Nat, as the spin of salvation begins, you two are strapped in. You're fine.
Safety first.
As we start spinning, that's like, woo!
The other, the gentleman with you, up to the roof and then back down and then to the side. One like kind of slams right next to you, Nat, like into the netting and then back. Yup. Yeah, that's all I can say about that.
How do they look? How do they look after this?
Yeah.
Like they should have like cuckoo birds going around their heads. They're like staggering, and you still are all in a straight dive.
Cacaw, motherfucker.
Is one of them within like? So I have, so Captain.
They're not
Ferdinand,
unconscious, if that's your question.
Captain Ferdinand's. He kind of had like a kind of a, almost kind of like a stun baton sword kind of thing, right?
Yep,
Yeah. Is one of them within range of being able to like poke him with it?
Sure.
I'm just gonna reach over and just tap him with it.
Yep.
Just
Yep.
down.
I think I might just okay, you can roll for it just because everyone's rocking, but the difficulty is only 2.
Okay.
And you have advantage on it.
Mm-hmm. I'm athletic.
Yeah.
Have one just because.
Yep.
Fencing, rapier.
Uh-huh.
It's a difficulty. You said it was a difficulty
2.
2. God.
Probably don't need any more.
Yeah, I probably don't, but
You probably don't.
knowing my luck.
You have advantage still, Tommy, don't you?
I do have advantage. That's right.
Yeah, you don't need more than 4.
I'm gonna add 1 die to make it 5. I think that's a good number.
5 is a great number. I love the number 5.
Yes.
So you can roll twice and take the higher.
Oh, thank God.
Nailed it.
Okay, and
Nailed it.
just give the advantage. Jesus.
Amazing.
He doesn't really do much. He just manages to draw the stun baton without stunning himself.
Yeah.
And while we're going like, and he just reaches out and he just prods the body as it's like, that. Just, I think it's more of a. Do you think he's okay? that wasn't. I would expect some sort of concussion after all of that, perhaps.
Let's hope.
Yeah, he's limp and kind of flopping around.
Do it again.
I mean, we just to make sure. I mean, in all the stories, the moment you think someone else is down, that's when they get back up and stab you in the back and everything.
Yeah.
goes wrong.
It's called a double tap. I like your style. I get it.
So yes, I mean, I've learned wisely that you always make sure someone is down before you turn your back on them.
Where's the other
Not
one?
be-
The other one is just like far away.
Yeah, he is he's fallen a bit like down the hall, but has started to kind of grab on and is trying to climb up toward you. Climb up toward you. We'll see how he does in a second. Snargle, from where you are, the other 2 ships have begun to pursue. What you know is that you are low on fuel, almost out. Those ships are probably faster than you, although they were completely taken by surprise at this action. And they are going to begin firing. You know your captain is outside. What would you like to do?
I think Snargle would turn the ship around to face them and try and just go straight in between them. And then duck down at the last minute, so if they do fire, they fire on each other.
Ah, wonderful.
There's not enough. He knows the fuel is running out. He cannot outrun these people. So he's like, what's the last thing they would think to do?
Yeah, I love it. Let's see if we can make this happen. That is tricksy AF. I love it. I'm gonna set this at we were taken by surprise. We'll say to get everything you want, which includes them shooting each other, it'll be difficulty 4, although difficulty 3 will get you a lot of what you want. So 3 or 4, one's better than the other. You still have an advantage to use, yeah.
Okay, so again, I've got 1 just cause, pilot, daring, maneuvering, evasion, tricky flying, steady, navigation. Atmospherics? Is that one's probably not gonna work. Yeah, so 8 again.
Okay, would you like to add anything to that?
I don't think so.
yeah. So 8.
He will just send a call out mainly to the cat to say, just hold on a little bit tighter.
I'm good. This is great. Thanks.
5 successes.
Yeah. That'll do it. So please describe this epic move as these 2 ships will fire on each other.
Yeah, when I say he gives warning, it's very, very quick. It's like, might want to hold a little bit closer, as he's just like swings everything round and uses probably the last of the max power to go straight in between them. And he's going to slow down just at the last minute and then drop as they start to, as soon as he sees things start to turn to fire, he drops just out of range, just out of time, which I'm guessing the captain will be very close.
Yes.
At the last minute.
Snargle drops these. Your beautiful hair flies up as this is happening, and the 2 beams pass right over your head, maybe singeing the top a little.
No.
As they fire upon each other. They do not blow up, but they do look very damaged. Again, they've probably with that had some breaches. They're not going to be pursuing you where you're going. However,
Snargle, you beautiful son of a bitch!
And you can just hear him going, ah, like the entire time as he dives down.
As they're doing this, however, the 3rd ship that was not in play before moves. And they are going to attempt to shoot, not at the ship, but at the wonderful fucker standing on top of it. So I don't roll anything in this system. So Vance, you have to tell me how you're going to avoid this.
That's easy. So he'll wait, and as he sees the guns turning, he's just going to ride this thing like he's a bucking bronco. He's been on for 7 seconds. He only needs to be on 1 more to take the belt buckle home. So he wraps up on the tether that he's on. He says, Snargle, take us down, dive. As he sees it get ready to shoot, he looks, takes his gun, puts it over his shoulder, double birds it, and disappears just like they do, and reappears in the gunner's turret, like crunched up on Art's lap, because that's the only place he can see to get inside. Crunches up on Art's lap and looks and says, hey Art, how you doing? And that's how he gets out of it. Beautiful.
Snargle, with this expert team evasion, you all descend into the depths, or the soup, as some people call it, the purple. And your vision out of the cockpit goes dark. You still have your sensors, but you can see the unconscious, well, formerly unconscious man next to you start to writhe a bit, convulse next, and then disappear. Kale and Nat, you see about the same thing, although much farther away from you during that dive. Way far away from you. And you are alone. You know that those ships will not follow you. They have been breached. If they follow you, that is almost certain death, considering the corrosive nature of the depths. You and the owl have some protection from that. You float, and then you hear a sputter as the last of your fuel runs out.
No. Oh, God.
And you are floating.
I guess we really hear that in the engine room, probably,
Yeah.
huh?
Oh yeah. You see the kind of essence core dim, almost to the point where you have no light. The whole ship begins to go dark. Kale, this feels like emptiness to you.
I'm gonna guess that that's not supposed to happen.
No, we're out of fuel, Nat. We're out of fuel, and we're in the purple. And she, kind of disoriented, unbuckles herself, unbuckles Nat, and she's at a loss a little bit. We have to see if the others are okay.
Yes, we should go check on them. I'm gonna go check on Art, just make sure
Okay.
she's doing okay. You don't think we were hit during that, do you? Because there's a lot of spinning and a lot of shaking, and
Well, if we did get hit, I think that there'd be a lot of oxygen release and a lot of other stuff going on, and Snargle's a good pilot, so I think we're okay.
do you think there's any way to convince Snargle to teach me how to pilot this thing? You're a good friend with Snargle. As we're like leaving.
Yeah, I'm gonna level with you, probably never, but who knows? There's stranger things have happened.
What about Cyrus? Do you think Cyrus would teach me how to play this?
I mean, you'd probably have a better time convincing Cyrus, to be honest. You just have to get him his favorite bourbon. Yeah. There is a place that and like Kale starts like knocking down the walls as they're going, like as they're walking, and she hits a place of the wall that's like a little hollow sounding. Mm-hmm. This in here. If you just have a drink with him with this in here, I don't know. Maybe it's worth a shot.
Nat looks inside.
It is like ornate, beautiful bourbon. It's like I don't actually know bourbon very well, but it looks very fancy and very expensive.
This is a very expensive bottle of bourbon. I mean, if you're having bourbon on Elysium, this is what you're going for.
Yeah, it's birthday bourbon. That's what we call it. Whenever one of us celebrates a special occasion, this is what we do together.
Thank you. I will keep an eye out for some more. I don't think gifting him his own bourbon would be particularly what I'm looking for.
Well, I mean, you'd have to earn the privilege, but to say you did, you can probably, I don't know, ask him for a favor or for friendship. I don't know. I'm not sure what you want by driving the ship.
I just want to learn how to drive the ship. Just something new, interesting. If I can't learn how to take care of the drive the ship, can you teach me how to take care of the engine?
So we'll figure out a way for you to drive the ship. Just fine. It's like she's scooting you out of the engine room.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Nat, you can make your way back up to the gunner. But we should go back there first with our very cozy companions.
Yeah.
Hot damn, that was fun. Woo. How you doing?
Artemis for once does not have the stoic face on. She looks flustered. And there's
right?
like a bit of maybe a blush, you're not sure.
Well, let's be very, very. Is there a blush or is there not a blush?
You can't tell. You can't tell if she's being red-faced because she's flustered or because she's blushing.
Okay, well then, what Vance will do from his like Santa Claus position on Art's lap, he'll lean forward until he's like talking into Art's ear, and click open the comm, and stay there and be like, "Snargle,
Yep.
how we doing, friend?"
Well, I had a
Smart.
great time. Are you still alive?
I am. I'm down here with Art. Say hi, Art.
Hiya.
Hello, Snoggle. Vance, Captain Vance, if you wouldn't mind. This is a little cramped.
Cozy. Solid though. And he bangs the window. Safe.
Right, yes. She's very much like trapped.
Yep, and the lights begin to turn off, and you can't see out of the glass anymore.
All right, that sucks. Playtime's over. He reaches down and makes sure that both of them have their gas masks on, and he opens up the sealed bottom of the turret and begins to climb down.
You would notice, as you were talking to Snargle from the gunner, that there seemed to be more interference than usual on intership communications. That's all.
There was more than usual?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, he's going to take the rifle and hand it back up to Art, and he's going to pull both of the guns out of his rig and just start walking towards the bridge. The bridge is pretty close to the turret, so he's going to head to Snargle first.
Yep. You find Snargle in the cockpit.
He's looking pretty happy with himself, but you can also see him frantically trying to figure out what he can do.
Slight problem. We're out of juice, that is.
Okay, that's fun. Great job. I had a great view of everything, the twists, and it was
I was proud of that one.
it was really good. It was the best. I think
It
you've
was,
made it.
right?
You have a lot of fans up there. Woo.
Oh, yeah. Were
Good
they strapped
times.
in?
Who's that? I hope so.
Oh.
He as soon as he's going to clear out and then head back towards the engine room in the hope of running into Lord Blackbird and Kale to see if they can all kind of regroup.
You pass him, probably passing under the turret again.
Everybody okay?
Yeah, we are completely. We're fine. First of all, we're fine. Second of all, we're out of fuel completely. We need to figure out an alternative fuel source for our girl.
Captain, that was exhilarating. That was amazing. Is this what your life is like?
Only when you're strapped in.
Yes. And all the thanks and praise goes towards the pilot. Snargle's the one that sent us into the corkscrew. It was beautiful. Okay, so we need steam to get out of here. Lord Blackbird.
Yes.
I witnessed you doing something interesting on the Hand of Sorrow. Are there other interesting things that you can do?
It's funny that you bring that up. I was thinking about it myself. We need power, correct? For this?
Yes, sir.
I can potentially provide a little power. It will have its costs.
It's out of the question is what it is.
Magic always has its
I'm
costs.
glad to see that you're doing okay.
Yeah, Art has clambered down and has heard this conversation.
Are you okay? Were you hurt in any way?
I'm fine. Thank you, Nat.
Look, Art, if we can't stay here, if the stories I've heard about the lower depths are true, it's not
the amount of strain it would put on your body would be immense.
I am well aware, but I don't see another choice right now, unless we could burn some of your alcohol.
I'm sorry, what?
Well, it's fairly flammable. It's kind of a fuel source. If what you need is heating up steam, then we could burn the alcohol.
Burn our clothes first, or like the lost and found chest. There's a lot of clothes in there. You probably have things you can burn.
I would rather not burn anything that can't be easily replaced.
Well, what kind of magic do you do? Because maybe there's a way I could help you. I'm not as proficient, maybe, but maybe there's something else I can help with.
Well, and he'll sort of hold up his hands, and you'll see a spark come from the ends of his fingers.
That's what I'm talking about. Right there. A whole bunch of that.
Not easy. It takes from me when I use magic. I depending on how long it starts with my body heat, I will cool very quickly, and the longer I use it, the more I use it. It's dangerous.
Captain Vance, you saw what happened when Nat used his magic last time.
Art, I'm not asking this to be flippant. We need a jump to get out of here. If we don't have the jump, we're all going to die. And I'm not going to ask the kid to do something that's going to kill him. He can stop. I'm not going to have a gun to his head. If he wants to attempt it and it doesn't work, we'll go to plan B.
I'm willing to try, Art, if it gets us out of here.
Nat, maybe there's something that I could build for you. Like a conduit, a connector, antenna, and she starts going through. She's like thinking really hard about mechanically what would it conduct more electricity.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, whatever you can do would be. I was just gonna shoot lightning at your core, but
I
that
figured you
sounds
were.
like a better idea.
Yep.
Yeah. Sure.
You're welcome.
I was very excited for it. As you're all standing having this conversation with the open turret above, a dim light begins to come from the outside. And all of you, Snargle in the cockpit would see this as well from the front, this light far away, but being that far away at the size it must be immense. It's a purple glow and it's moving toward you.
Snow's like, are you seeing this?
The other thing to mention is we're not alone here. This is some other things live in this. We should leave. So time, quick better. Coming. And he just points out. He's looking for
I promise
liquor.
not to push myself too far, but I mean, if what the captain says is right, we need to get out of here quickly.
At this point, high screech maybe, or wail,
Oh no.
a little melancholy lilt to it, reaches your ears.
I think Nat looks at Art and Art, you've been my best friend for years now, and you've saved me from trouble countless times. Let me save you this once.
Fine.
You'll be there. You can keep an eye on me, make sure I'm not going. Do we have time for you to build something, or at the
We
very
sure
least?
don't. Now with that like screeching, I thought we had some time, but we sure don't.
Okay.
I don't.
Then, Kale, the best thing you can do to help me is, make lots of food
Okay.
and have something warm for me afterwards. Any
I will-
blanket you might have here.
I will say for Kale, you could probably rig something very simple together to assist Nat in this task.
Okay. Because I do have mechanic. is what I was-
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, even if it was something simple like using a tool to connect as opposed to his bare hand or something like that will reduce his difficulty.
Yeah, I was thinking of something that a rubber that he can hold on to that has like a
Mhm.
metal conductor that he can attach to the core.
Yeah, you can do that. So he
Cool.
will have an extra die for his role to do this. Ba-doop.
Then I guess Nat will return to the engine room and he'll start charging up, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Is anybody with Nat besides Kaylin?
Artemis will go unless she's stopped. And even then, she probably would go anyways.
I mean, I think Nat would like you there.
Yeah, no one will
preferably.
stop you.
I assume Snargle's in the cockpit ready to go.
Yeah.
You do see this thing getting closer. And just based on your pilot's eye, this is gargantuan.
Yeah, he's like calling in. He's like, is anyone else seeing what I'm seeing? Or just We need to go now. Like right now.
Can we hear this in the engine room?
Though for some reason there seems to be some kind of interference in the communications.
Before they leave, as soon as the other two start moving down, Vance is going to tell Kale, if it looks like the kid's getting really hurt or he's going to die, pull him off of whatever he's doing.
All right, Captain, I will.
And then he climbs up to the gunner station.
Mm-hmm. So, Nat, how would you like to do this?
Okay, well, Nat is so I think what Nat would like to do is find a place where he can hold on to whatever Kale has given him to sort of channel the electricity. And then he's also going to see if he can like ground himself by holding on to something else nearby, preferably something that's metal. And he is going to start channeling his storm blood. And I mean, he had a faux hawk before, but now his hair is just straight up on end, as you see sort of like electricity sort of cascading right now across his arms and sort of like trickling out other places. But you know, you get the feeling, and you all feel the air sort of go very dry, and you can smell sort of like burnt metal-ish. That's what it smells like as he's doing it. And you see his eyes. They are sort of like a bright, they are shining almost with sort of a bright bluish white glow. And yeah, so he is going to channel that lightning into the ship's core.
All right. So we'll go ahead and make a roll for this. I'm not going to set a difficulty level. We'll see how well you succeed and what it costs.
Okay. So Master Sorcerer, Spellcaster, Channeling, Stormblood, Lightning. One just because. I think I want to use my auto success on this.
Okay. So we'll have one no matter what.
Yep. And then I'm gonna put what am I? I'm 6. I'm gonna put 3 of my pool into this because cool. He is putting a lot. Despite his reassurances to Art and otherwise, he is putting a lot into this. So it's gonna be 9.
Oh, and you have 1 extra from Kale.
So 10.
Yeah,
cool.
From her pool.
All right.
Okay.
Oh my god! So that's 2 successes because I used my auto success.
No, it's 2.
I told you my luck was...
I believe you have a secret that could come into
Yes, that's right. I have a secret of inner focus. I can re-roll a failure when doing sorcery. That would have... Oh, thank you.
Man.
No, that's much better. 6 successes.
Hey. Wow. That was close.
I will say this is still, regardless of the number of successes, this still like hurts Nat. Like
yes, I was going to say actually, the more success, the more of a cost. So it's kind of lose-lose. It's great. As you channel your storm magic into this, Kale, you watch as it looks less like shooting something and more like filling something with water. It's graceful. The lightning dances straight through your conduit into the essence core as the entire ship lights up like a beacon. You feel it rush back to life. And Snargle up in the cockpit as the ship lights up, you would notice that the creature, whatever it is, that was drifting your way before, is now whizzing your way and getting ever closer. It is long. Things spreading out from it, probably tentacles, like if you had to guess. And the ship is yours.
I think even though the comms are down, he's not even considering that anyone could hear me. He's just like, nope, 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 nope. And he's just like trying to get control and pull up and just directly go up.
Yeah.
Get us out of here, Snoggle.
Nat. Okay, we're going to do two things. Snargle is going to roll to win this chase. And Nat, as this finishes, as the last bit of energy leaves your hands, the first thing you notice is that you are parched, unbelievably so. Artemis and Kale would see like all the moisture, like the sweat on Nat's brow is gone. The edges of his fingers seem a bit charred, and he starts convulsing.
Artemis is immediately at his side.
And he is ice cold. He is just...
And she makes sure to grab him first with her not metal hand.
Mm-hmm. Damn it.
I grounded myself first.
Yes.
And as soon as she kind of like grounds him for a second, she's immediately going to like, I need blankets, water, something.
Water. Okay. What else? Anything else?
Hot water, food. Like, I'm going to bring him to the room right now.
Yeah, bring him to the mess hall. And I'm gonna. You definitely don't need my help, but I'm gonna try to help you carry him over.
Guide him.
Yeah.
And he is shaking real bad.
Yeah.
Like this is like hypothermia, most likely levels of cold. Like,
yeah. So we take him to like the kitchen area. I'm assuming it's like one of the warmest places in the ship that's not the engine room. I'm assuming because of like the ovens and like the kitchen things.
Yeah.
And I'm pouring him a glass of water, and I take off my coat and I put it around him because he has no sleeves right now because he's wearing a vest. And I'm just trying to flutter around and just give him everything that Artemis had asked for.
Yeah, you can do that all very quickly. Meanwhile, where's Vance right now?
As soon as the ship would power back up around him, he is going to both yell and bang on the comm for the shipwide announcement, and he's just gonna, way to go, kid! As he turns the gun, and as soon as he's met with probably the same sight that Snargle sees, because he's facing rearward, right?
Oh yeah, you see it. It's a coming.
He knows it's okay to shoot this down here, right? He would know that, right?
Yes.
I mean,
it's not like
I always think of like Spelljammer,
beams,
and I'm
they're beams, they're not bullets. So yes.
Okay. So he is going to begin to, if any tentacle starts to like make it get a little closer, he's just gonna smack it. Get back! And he's gonna shoot the back, damn it, back, and just as he's just going back and forth, and this is total Han Solo at this point, where he's spinning in this thing, firing. Come on, baby, hold together. As they're shooting and rocketing up backwards. And he's screaming the whole time for Snargle, go, go! Because they're probably close enough that he can hear him no matter what. Go! Faster!
As you call down to Snargle, you notice that the comms seem clear. And Snargle, let us see how fast we're getting out of here.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll do this one as well. I will do it based on level. I'm gonna make this difficulty 3 because you've got Cyrus on the gun, and that thing is not it's not a melee with you yet, which is good.
Okay, so it's one just cause. It's pilot, daring, steady, maneuvering, evasion, tricky flying, navigation. So I think it's 8 again.
Yeah.
It's 8.
And you have an advantage from Kai to use on this roll.
Oh, on this roll. Okay.
Mhm. I do just the next roll to keep it moving. Nice. Awesome.
Again, he's yelling the entire way. Like it's a mixture of yelling as he weaves between these like tentacles and stuff and whatever. And every time he sees one of them get hit, there's that manic laughter again of yes every time you hit one.
Yeah, they are just starting to come within range, but Vance has you. He's able to off as you begin your ascent very quickly, way quicker than you've ever felt the owl go before. And you are able to exit the depths as just one last tentacle follows you out and then retracts as it hits the clear air. And the sky in front of you appears clear.
Whoa! Whoa! What?
Oh, like you can hear banging on like he's just thundering like his fists on like the anything in front of him. I'm probably screaming about the same.
And if you'd like, you can make your way to Nightport. The path is clear before you.
Vance is getting down out of the turret after he guarantees that there's nothing around. He jumps down, reaches behind the nearest vent, pulls out a bottle, walks down, reaches under the grate, pulls out another bottle. He throws one to Snargle. Whoa! I'm giving that kid a drink. Where's that kid? Kid! And he walks towards the engine room.
No one is there, but the core is like a disco ball. It's almost like it's dancing as it spins.
Well, that's something.
But no Nat, no Kale, no Artemis.
Everybody? Hello? He goes over to the comm. Hey, where is everybody?
Oh, we're feeding Nat bagels right now, cause he is in a bad way.
Okay, you feed him. I'll get him something to drink. And
Yeah, the strong stuff, please.
yeah, I'll bring the good stuff as he leaves the good bottle where
Yep.
Kale showed it before and takes something pretty good and brings it up.
Medium good.
Right.
As their voices from the galley come back, you hear that interference again.
What's with the interference in the comms? We should be clear. Did something happen? Because he's probably walking into the galley as he says this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. Everything should be fine. Because Serena doesn't understand ships. Where would I go to go check that out?
You could probably go to the bridge with Snargle.
And that would be something that I could do, right?
Yeah. All my ship knowledge comes from the one series of Star Trek that I have binged. So go to the bridge. You can do stuff with the sensors there.
Perfect. Yeah, I've only seen Battlestar Galactica, so I only know
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Cylons.
Yeah. No, totally.
Great. Perfect.
So leaving
Leaving
Artemis.
Artemis.
Care. Yeah.
Yeah.
You make your way to the bridge. Vance, are you going or staying?
He's staying with Artemis and the kid, but he's going to go over and would anyone have told him about the people that poured it in and the screams and things like that? Is that something that would have been shared with the crew inside? Because Vance didn't hear any of that there were 4 windows.
And neither did Artemis.
Yeah.
I think Kale would have told you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Armed with that information, and now that the stress of the situation is past, he's going to go over and he is going to get the flower. And then he's going to walk over with Artemis and with the kid.
Mm-hmm.
And just have a big bag of flour with him.
Yep.
Walk the void
without a roll. You do so.
Yeah, Artemis is probably like kneeling next to Nat or like sitting next to him. Oh yeah, and Vance would have noticed that like Artemis has a metal arm. She hadn't been showing this at all during this entire trip. And she's kind of just like fussing over Nat.
He pays it absolutely no mind. And if you were to look at him at any point, you would be reminded that he is walking with a severe limp of an injury that has taken the full use of his leg away. So the prosthetic arm, it's not something that would register to him as surprise, or he accepts it fully.
Hey, Captain.
Hey, kid! Wow.
Real wildly.
Yeah,
there.
he's probably like wrapped in like 3 different blankets and like a coat.
I imagine him wrapped in like almost like a papoose type of way, like and if that's the case, and Vance is going to take him like this, hands on both sides of his cheeks. Kid, you did a fantastic job. Not good, not great. Fantastic. Did you see what it looks like now down there? Colors and lights. And he kisses him on the forehead. Fantastic. And he 100% means it.
Thanks, Captain. I tried.
You didn't try, you did.
I didn't really get a chance to see what happened down there, kind of.
No, because you put too much into it again, Nat. I'm proud of you.
Take a little bit of this. I guarantee you it'll warm you up. And he actually, since he's wrapped up, he'll give the bottle of the whiskey and tilt it towards his yes.
Nat will grab it like with his hands between like this and with the blanket over it, and he'll take the whole thing, and he actually starts just chugging it.
No. About 2 gulps and he pulls it back.
Yeah, I think both Vance and Artemis like pull it back.
Just like he just starts leaning backwards and like he's just going with the bottle and just.
Yeah, both Artemis and Vance just nope.
As they pull it back, Vance will press it into Art's hand. A drink with me. Gunner seat, buddy. He clinks the neck of his bottle with the one that he handed to Art.
She'll give him a raised eyebrow, but a little bit of a smile. Clink it back and take a swig.
So, does this gathering go on long? Does Artemis or Vance eventually? Does like Artemis help Nat to his room? does Vance return to the cockpit? How does the gathering end?
Vance is going to. Oh, I'm sorry. Go right.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I was just going to say Vance is going to start doing something insane, and he is going to start walking through the ship, reaching into the flour and throwing puffs of it out as he walks through every common area, letting it drift down as he's just throwing it around, up and down the halls of the owl, listening as he goes to see if something's there that you can't see.
Funnily enough. But we'll cut away first. Snargle and Kale. What y'all doing?
As Kale approaches, Snargle will like swing round in this chair he's in. Like, it'll probably go round a couple of times before he stops. And he's got a drink in his hand. He's like,
What do you think?
You're amazing.
I know.
and he just takes another like swig of the drink and tops it up. He's like,
Were you strapped in at the time?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay, that's-
Everything's fine.
What about the kid?
I strapped him in first. Mm-hmm.
So kind, always so kind.
As Kale, I'm just assuming there's cubbies everywhere. She finds her own like little stash and is drinking with Snargle.
Yeah, he sort of pushes a glass towards her.
Yeah. Did you notice a weird thing with the comms? There was like a sound.
That wasn't just me. Did you hear like the screamy thing as well?
Yeah. I heard that. There was like that was terrifying.
Does Vance know?
Yeah, I think so. Yes, he's the one who told me. I'm sorry, it's been a day.
A great day.
A great day. Speaking of a day, and so I imagine Kale is working as she's talking, trying to figure out how to like see where the signal came from. Is there a way to do that? Like trace the call? Okay.
Yeah, I believe you can do that. Let's make a roll for it. Cause you do have advantage on it. What do you got? What do you got to use? And you have your whole pool, remember, as well.
Okay, I'm gonna use repair. Maybe I'm repairing my signal.
So one just cause mechanic repair. Yeah, I'll give you repair. I'll give you repair. Yeah.
Efficiency, because I want to make sure our systems are working efficiently.
Sure. Yeah.
Sabotage, because I believe we were sabotaged.
It's a great guess. Yeah.
So 5. What was the difficulty?
I did not set one. Silly me. This is your ship. We'll say 3.
Okay, I'll do 2 more for my pool just in case.
And you have advantage, so you're at 7.
Can I assist at all, or?
Tell me how you would.
So, Snargle's good at maintenance.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more that he would sit there with a drink and let her do it, but be like, no, that one's on the blink. Use that, like just more watching and pointing things out.
Yeah. Sure. You can give her a die from your pool.
I accidentally rolled.
Yeah, no, that's okay. Go ahead and roll with 8 and roll twice. And remember that you can add your auto success.
Perfect.
Awesome. And roll one more time just to see if there's anything extra. You got it. This is your ship. As the two of you put your heads together, it seems to be, the interference seems to be almost just kind of looking back. Seems to be mobile. Like its source is changing. Currently, It's coming from the galley. Vance, out of curiosity, what does your cabin look like inside?
My cabin?
Yeah, super innocuous question. What does it look like?
I would picture it like this because I'm allowed to do this and I'm allowed to blatantly rip off whatever I'd like. It looks like Malcolm Reynolds' cabin. If you're familiar with Firefly, Vance is living in Malcolm Reynolds' cabin.
Do you have any personal effects out?
Just a ballet shoe, like a slipper.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else is kind of built into the walls. The built into desk, the bed, the like flip up latrine and sink. That's it.
As you enter your cabin, you feel the ship entering the atmosphere of Nightport. Y'all have been moving this whole time, coming in for a landing. There's something off about the cabin, and it's difficult to notice at first, but that slipper's been moved very slightly. And you toss the flour in there?
Yep.
It sprinkles and form is outlined. And it disappears. And the flower drifts to the ground. And I think we're going to end there because I want to, and that feels good. So we're going to do it.
What did the form look like?
That's a great question. Human? There you go.
Did it have a hat?
No. It, lithe, maybe long hair, but that was all you could see. So, yay! Good job, team. Y'all kicked ass, like crazy amounts of ass. That was awesome. Yeah, let's go around. Who you are, plug all your things, say what you enjoyed about tonight, what you're wondering. I'm sure it's nothing. And yes, we'll get into Nightport next week. Let's go in reverse order. Lord Blackbird, how you doing, buddy?
Lord Blackbird's doing okay at the moment. Not spiffy. He's a little wiped out after that. Yeah, another really fun session. It's great to be able to see everyone sort of in their element, being able to do what their characters are good at, or should hopefully be good at. Yeah, I mean, the magic for Lord Blackbird keeps coming up, and it's rough on him, which I like. I like that it's very, very costly. But yeah, I am Imperator Pengu on the Twitters, where you can find everything I'm doing. I'm in a bunch of tabletop RPG shows. I've got a pinned post there that lets you know where I am. Specifically, tomorrow I'll be over on Pro Restarter's channel at 1 p.m. Eastern with a Dungeon World campaign, which is a hoot, but also lots of crying. But that sounds like a lot of my games these days. But yeah, follow me on Twitter. I announce everything I'll be doing before I'm doing it, so it's the best way to find out what I'm doing. And I'm looking forward to next week.
Yay. Art. Kiana, how's it going? Hold on. Let me just. What's up?
Back off, Lauren.
Okay.
That was a big ol' ouch. Yeah, it was fun getting to play Artemis not in her element at all. playing her extremely uncomfortable with everything going on. Yeah, because she's been pretty stoic this entire time. And today has been a rough day for her. But that's the fun part of it, right? Getting to hand a bunch of backstory knives to your GM and just waiting for them to stab you with it. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to having the decompressed conversation with people, as I'm sure some of them have questions about Artemis's connection to these things. But yeah, can't wait for next episode. But until then, you guys can find me over on Twitter. Best way to figure out what I'm doing, because I'm over the internet playing role-playing game almost every day of the week. You'll find me back on the channel on Wednesdays for May Black Roses Bloom, our D&D 5e Dragonlance campaign. It's a lot of fun. If you like dark, gritty fantasy and terrible decisions on my end. And if you like seeing me and Lauren and our faces, we have a channel coming up called Salty Sweet Games. You can find us over on Twitter and Twitch at Salty Sweet Games. We're going to be doing some test stuff before we do our official launch. We're planning on doing some horror video games together. So if you like seeing us yell about horror stuff, that's where you can find us. And yeah, this was a kick-ass episode.
Yay, I'm happy. Alice!
Hi, I love this game so much. I love all the people in it, and I also love that Snargle finally got to do some piloting stuff, and I love the overall image of Vance on the roof of the ship, then Snargle flying it, and Kale just like, guys, you're gonna want to strap in, like it's just like trying to make sure the others are okay because they don't know what's happening, and at the last minute the dip where it just misses Vance. And also the image of Nat like powering up the engine and having Artemis sort of freak out a little bit. But yeah, I'm already excited for next week. I am White Rabbit Pick. That is where you can find me on Twitter. I am the other half of the Scratch Kids Academy, where you can see me DM 3 times a week and play even more times a week over on that channel. And I'm also back over here every other Sunday for Highlander, which I am so hyped about so much, and I love it so much. So thank you, and I'll see. I'm already excited for next Monday. So thank you.
Yay. Serena!
Oh gosh. Yeah, this is quickly becoming one of my favorite systems I've ever played. I'm obsessed with it. It's so good. And yeah, just the visual of I just see like a slow motion Snargle just like in his zone pushing buttons, and just like it's so epic. The epicness is just ridiculous. And Artemis, just you're such good RP, I think. Like being really affected by something that hasn't really come into fruition yet in front of us. It's so interesting to be on the other side and to watch that as another player. I really love that. So thank you.
No.
You can catch me every Sunday at 12 p.m. Central with Rivals of Waterdeep. We stream from the One Shot Studio, and it's real fun. Lots of puzzles this season, and it's DM'd by Sharif Jackson, who is lovely. You can also catch me on the Dungeon Rats. We stream, but it's mostly a podcast, so you can check out both. If you like spoilers, check out the stream, because we're about 6 episodes from the podcast right now.
Awesome. And Greg?
I had a fantastic time tonight. It was absolutely great. Chat, you're always just so supportive. What I like, obviously, I'm a huge fan of Firefly. I one of my favorite, if not my favorite, TV show of all time. The characters are fantastic, but here's what I like. The one thing about this episode, among the numerous awesome things that happened, was Blackbird powering the ship up. And now the core spins like a disco ball. And you think if that continues, it's those things where the players affect the craft that they're in, much like how Kaylee did her drawings on her door and that became a part of Serenity, and how Inara's shuttle was this sanctuary, became a part of everything, the dinosaurs it washes. All these little things go to turn a stock freighter into a home. And now with the disco ball, it will forever hold the fingerprint of Lord Blackbird. I love that. It's a story within a story. And it's fantastic. It's what I live for, telling collaborative narratives. It's just the best. And yeah, you know what? We have a t-shirt every time, but I'm unfortunately, chat, you didn't see our well, you did, but you weren't gifted with the reveal that we had when Tommy hit the green room. So tonight's t-shirt, as I'm going to say, it's just Lord Blackbird with yo underneath it, and that's going to be that's our t-shirt for tonight. But I am Grimjack21502 on the Twitter. You are on Tales from the Grim on the Twitch. Coming up this week, we do have the May Black Roses Bloom at 8 on Wednesday. We're all going to be Minotaurs. It'll be fun. On Thursday, we have Dungeon of the Mad Mage. And then, of course, on Sunday, as we roll back around, actually, I think we have some Invisible Sun this Friday, too, I believe. We are going to be speed dating with Cupid, who looks like Barry Gibb. Yeah. So show up for that one too. And then on Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern time, we have Highlander, the very first narrative episode. And the very second episode of Project Hyperion is Sunday night, 7 p.m. Eastern. But make sure you're back here with us next Monday. And bring your flower, because Lauren's sneaky and she's got invisible shit everywhere. So until next time, friends.
Also,
Yes.
Discord. We've got Discord. Come and hang out with us over there. We have little channels for each show that we have, so we can talk about shows outside when we're not live as well. Tonight is the last night that you can vote on Monthly Madness, which is our new initiative to help our first step towards compensating and paying our lovely cast of players for their time and their storytelling and all the amazing stuff they do. It's basically a once a month one shot with featuring cast members from across the channel, and you guys get to vote on what story we do each month. So go over to our Discord, go over to the one shots category and the one shot channel, check out the pinned post, and react with your vote. You're allowed to vote for as many of the ideas as you want, and those will be closing in about 55 minutes. So get in on that.
Alrighty. Well, I have been Lauren at That Salty Ginger over on Twitter. You're very, very friendly, constantly delighted, and having to be kept on our toes with this crew. Navigator. And we'll see you next week.